Edinburgh. Let's return to Katerina, who's in London. Katerina, not very long to go now. Are a few people coming out in dribs and drabs to market?
There are a few people coming out, and it looks like this is behind me, and you can see the top of the Shard building, and there's some sort of countdown that seems to be on a bit of a loop, a countdown from 10 to 1 and then back to 10. So we might start to see something happening, a lot of people pausing. And if we want to maybe just zoom a little towards the end of the bridge, you can see how people are really trying to get any vantage point, not really knowing exactly where is best to go. They're sort of hedging their bets, really, and there's quite a big group of people who are now at the corner of the River Thames, so they've got a view not only of the Shard building but of Millennium Bridge, because, as I said, no official display. People have been told not to come down, but of course curiosity gets the best of a lot of people, and people just want to see where they're a good place to see whatever it might be here.
Thanks, Katerina. If you're just tuning our way, it is almost midnight and you are watching Sky News. We are counting down the last few moments of 2021. This is the picture in London where some fireworks are expected. Big Ben's also expected to chime. Let's pause to welcome in the new year.
As Big Ben's chimes ring out around us, signalling a year
Is that it? Can't be it.
Let's go there.
I was going to say the council told you no, did they?
Well, I don't think that's an official count. It's something like
We go back to Katerina.
Anyone's it?
The word spectacular, like you said.
Must just be more else. I've not been.
Well, we were promised lights and some fireworks. Not as entirely spectacular as some might have expected, but it was meant to be cancelled in its entirety initially. Let's cross back to Katerina Vitozzi, who's down on the banks of the Thames for us. Not far from the Shard, Katerina, which has been Its tip has been glowing different colours. We saw the countdown there and we heard the bongs of Big Ben. But the spectacular and the lights and the fireworks, they're being spread out across London, aren't they, Katerina?
Yeah, and I think that is something very tactical by organisers. They wanted to avoid large groups of people in one place. I think, though, as you might be able to hear behind me, there's still little bits of fireworks happening in the corner of the Thames where we are now, just in front of the Shard. And there's lots of people who are still waiting and gathering, wanting to see a little bit of the spectacular that they were promised, at least on TV at least. But spectacular but brief, I would say, at this corner of the River Thames. But you never know, there might be a little bit more up London's sleeve for this corner of the river. But the Shard, still spectacular, with it sort of being lit up and that wonderful, brief but beautiful blaze of fireworks on the Millennium Bridge behind me. But as we say, this fireworks spectacular spread out across various London landmarks, not concentrated in that one particular area, as we've seen in New Year's Eve's past, and a celebration, a 30-minute spectacular that Sadiq Khan promised, spread out, remembering events of the past year, but also looking to 2022 with a bit more optimism.
And as you were saying earlier, Katerina, of course, because of restrictions, London is a great deal quieter than it would ever be. It's not the case that there are lots and lots of people down in London at the moment. They're all just staying inside. The bars and the restaurants are quite deserted.
Yeah, we've had teams. My colleague was in central London in Soho this evening, and there were plenty of empty seats in restaurants, bars, busy-ish, but certainly not the volume that you'd expect on normal New Year's Eve. Points along the river where, as you say, on a normal year you'd expect deep rows of people waiting for many hours. I mean, I covered a New Year's Eve celebration, I think 3 years ago, and we had to be there at 6 p.m. just in order to get that prime spot. But now, you know, people turning up 5 minutes before, hoping to get a glimpse of New Year's Eve that felt maybe a little bit more normal. I think in these uncertain times, a bit of a more normal New Year's Eve is something that everyone was looking forward to. But certainly, you know, we were told the official event was cancelled. We were told there would be something. No one knew exactly what it was. The crowds that were standing here, I mean, I don't know if you can see behind me, there are still people waiting and looking just to see if there's anything further happening on this part of the river. It doesn't appear like there will be. A lot of things looking like they're happening actually slightly further down towards Tower Bridge, and the Shard still setting off a few beams of light, but certainly not the New Year's Eve fireworks that we have known from times past. Something slightly different, something slightly more in keeping with the times that we all find ourselves in. And even though we might not, have that great big grand display, certainly something very special, very resonant about hearing the chimes of Big Ben at midnight on New Year's Eve. I think for many people that is the sound of New Year's Eve, and whatever happens with the fireworks, that sound remains the same.
Katerina, thanks very much. Let's return to James Matthews, who's up in Edinburgh for us. James,